Your friends are not coming. Leave them. Girl, book that trip you want to go on. Hello, happy Black History Month again, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Unpack That.
Ooh, girl, we need to unpack that.
My name is Sojourner, my pronouns are she, her, and I am the social worker and travel content creator behind the platform Sojourneys and the host for this travel education series. And during Let's Unpack That, we process and unpack our baggage of social identities, travel privileges, and other hot topics and social issues in travel for us to become more responsible, informed, educated, conscientious travelers. And today we are talking about a very popular type of travel, at least pre-pandemic, and that is solo female travel. To do some grounding, of course, solo female travel is defined as women who travel by themselves, quite literally. However, we are putting a little unpack that lens on top of it and talking about solo female travel for Black women in particular. I want to talk about it with the racial lens because if you Google solo female travel right now, you will see that the majority of people who pop up in Google searches are white women. Traveling with our varying social identities is not always bad. Different does not always equal bad. It just means that there are some nuances that we need to be aware of. For example, as a Black woman who has traveled solo, I've been worried of fetishes. A lot of them are sexual stereotypes about Black women. The second thing is the hypersexualization, which kind of goes into the fetishes. People wanting to say, I've always wanted to bleep a Black girl. And then you hear other stories of Black women who get mistaken for prostitutes in various parts of the world as well. And even though fetishes and hypersexualization are some of the things that we face as Black women, it's also good to note that this is not universal for every Black woman. We are not a monolith when it comes to being Black women, and so your experience may vary. And also know you cannot control what people see in the media and how they take that information. So travel, do you, live your life, and don't let these things stop you. So why is it important to travel solo? I have 3 reasons for you. Number 1, if you're on the fence about it, just go for it. It boosts your confidence so much. I had a stutter in English that I learned showed up in Spanish, and it made me really self-conscious trying to learn a new language. So I tested myself. I booked a trip to Mexico for a week, and I was able to navigate it in my second language the entire time. So it definitely boosts your confidence, also boosts your self-esteem and knowing that you can do this. The second reason I recommend solo female travel is because you meet so many more people when you are traveling by yourself. It is way easier to make friends traveling solo than it is when you're in a group of people. I've met way more people and built stronger connections traveling solo than I had when I was traveling with friends, which is also fine. Nothing against group travel. I love that too. But sometimes you kind of want to go out and adventure on your own, and solo travel makes that super possible. And my third reason for why you should travel solo is because your friends are not coming. Leave them. Girl, book that trip you want to go on because they don't have their money together. There are so many times when I have tried to book trips with friends and it just fell through, not because it was anybody's fault, but life happened. Times you just gotta go by yourself because your friends are not coming. Sorry. Here are some general solo female travel tips, but also a few for Black women especially. Number 1, lie, girl. Lie. I say lie because everyone you meet does not need to know that you're traveling solo. Even though people are genuinely nice, and I've had a lot of great experiences traveling solo as a Black woman in Mexico and throughout Europe, there are some people who, may not give off the right vibe. So just be careful and be friendly, but not too friendly and tell people all of your business. The second thing you can do is research. It is 2021. As I mentioned in the Black Travel Movement video, there are a lot of Black travel bloggers, influencers, journalists, vloggers. Like, we are out here offering information about traveling as Black people, as Black women. So do your research. I'll mention a few at the end of this video of people to check out. You can join Black travel Facebook groups if you want to know about a destination. There are tons of location specific Black travel groups that are great for you to ask questions about what it's like being Black in those destinations if you want to do that as part of your research too. Tip number 3 is to never pull all of your money out at once. Like, don't just have your money flying around and stuff. Take what you need and leave what you don't. Safely put in your bag, in your locked locker at your hostel, or in your hotel room or Airbnb for later. Another tip, pack what you need. If you are doing a protective style like this, install it before you go. There are chances that you will not have everything you need in the destination that you're going to. So it's important to be prepared, because we know we do not play about our hair. Some travel essentials that you may need traveling solo include a portable charger, because if you're taking photos by yourself or using GPS like Google Maps to get you around, you are going to need a backup battery. Registering with your government is another helpful tip when you are traveling solo, just to get those alerts. For example, the coronavirus pandemic, it's a great resource to stay informed on any emergencies. You want to get photos by yourself, or just get those insta-worthy photos. You can definitely do that by 1, bringing a tripod and setting that up, or 2, you can find somebody who normally has like a DSLR on their chest, or they're carrying that around, that can kind of signal that you know what to do. When I was in London though, meeting up with another travel blogger, Candace from Candace Abroad, we had a situation where we thought a guy who had a camera around his neck knew what he was doing. And then we got the photos back and they looked like this. I'll put an insert somewhere in here. So while that DSLR trick works most of the time, it doesn't work all of the time. But it did work for me when I was traveling solo in Mexico. And this is what that photo looked like. So it just depends. Also, if you want to get photos but without worrying if it's gonna turn out right, you can always do an Airbnb experience. I did one of these when I was traveling solo in Amsterdam, and I still use those photos today. So if you see them on my Instagram, mind your business. But they were a great memory to have. I also got a tour of Amsterdam with the photo shoot, so it's like getting a 2-for-1, and I highly recommend it. If you are wanting to travel solo and you are a Black woman and you want some more inspiration, I have a few people you can check out. The first one is Abena from Traveling Tuesdays. She travels solo. Her Instagram is so gorgeous and full of incredible photos and tons of information on traveling solo, especially if you are a Gen Z traveler. So check her out. And then my other favorite is Sierra Johnson of Hey Sierra. I love her content. I've been following her for a few years now. Sierra shows you the ins and outs of traveling solo, especially traveling solo as a Black woman. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed and learned something new. If you want to share your own experiences traveling solo, feel free to put them in the comments below. Any other reflections or topics that you want to see covered on Let's Unpack That, also feel free to put those in the comments below, and I will see you all at my next video next Tuesday. Bye y'all, stay curious.